feel tensions rising. I hear voices in my head. They counsel me, they understand. They talk to me. They talk to me. They tell me things that I will do. They show me things I'll do to you. They talk to me. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. They talk to me. Talk to me, talk to me.
What's up, you YouTubers? It's HawkHunter89 coming at you from the Duelist Den, and the voices in my head are pretty pissed off at me because I haven't posted a video in 2 months. Now, a little explanation as to why I haven't posted a video. For the last couple months, I've been living with a roommate, and that roommate has 6 teenage children. Well, if any of you know anything about teenage children, they're loud, they're noisy, they're rambunctious, and they're pain in the butts sometimes. And it's a little bit difficult to shoot a video when you've got 6 teenagers running around in a trailer. So, me and my roommate, nothing to do with videos. We had a little conflict over something. She did something that was, in my opinion, extremely morally wrong. She did something and did not tell me a full explanation of what was going on. I am not going to bring up the full details of what it was over the internet. I'm not going to slam her. I'm not that kind of person. I could, it'd be funny, but this channel is not about slamming people. This channel is about Yu-Gi-Oh! So anyway, we had a little conflict over the issue, and she, like I said, she didn't tell me anything that she was supposed to, that I felt she should have told me. And I had an issue with that, so I finally moved out. This is the new Duelist Den. I have been in this apartment for about a week now. I've been getting my stuff moved in, getting the place set up, things like that. I'm still working on decorating my walls, as you can tell from my background back there. I'm still working on decorating my walls. But anyway, for those of you who can kind of see his head, I've got Despot 000 sleeping on the couch there. It's cute. But anyway, point is, I am now able to shoot videos without interruption. So the Duelist Den is back in business. Thank you very much. So anyway, this video is actually the first video in a series of videos that I've been wanting to do for about a month now. And just for a little backstory, 3 months ago roughly, some of you might remember I did a rant video over TCG players arguing about which game was better of the big 3 of Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, and Yu-Gi-Oh! And my ultimate conclusion was pretty much the games are similar in so many ways, but there are so many differences that it is nearly impossible to tell which game is better than the others. Now, while I still stand by the fact that which game is better is really just a fact of personal preference, I was, while I was living in the trailer, teaching my roommate's kids how to play Pokemon, Magic, and Yu-Gi-Oh! And I came to a realization that although which game you prefer or you think is your favorite is really a matter of personal opinion and how you like to play your games, they are not equally as difficult. Now, what I mean by that is in the course of me teaching my roommate's kids how to play these games, I discovered that one of these games was harder to teach than the other 2, and like one of them was super easy to learn, one was they picked up on pretty quickly, but not as quickly as the one I just mentioned, and then the third one was an extreme pain in the ass for them to learn. Now you have to remember, all 3 of these card games are geared pretty much toward the 10-year-old age range. Okay, now these teenagers range from 13 to 17 or 13 to 16 years of age, all 6 of them. So they should have had a pretty basic understanding of, you know, when they could do this, that, and the other thing, and how to read cards, and when you can use effects. And, you know, basic understanding based off of what I was teaching them. But one of these games they actually have more difficult or more trouble learning than the other ones. I'm not going to tell you which ones I feel is the most difficult to learn. until the very end. We're going to go through this and tally it up and give a final say at the end of my final video. One thing I'm also going to try to do is mesh, once I'm done with the entire series, I'm going to try and mesh them all into one video and upload them. I'm not sure how long it's going to, that video will be, or if YouTube will even let me upload it, because I know they have like restrictions on time limits and stuff like that. If it's too long, they won't let you upload it. But anyway, I spent 5 minutes of your time explaining this, so let's get started. For this first video, I've decided to start with something simple. That's how many pages in the rulebook explain how to play the games, and go over the turn structure for each game. Now, coming in at the smallest number of pages, well, let me do a quick explanation. What I did was for each rulebook, I counted the pages. I did not count glossaries, table of contexts, appendixes, things like that. I just counted the pages that told you how to play the game and how to read the cards, the basic stuff. I didn't include glossaries, appendixes, note pages, or anything like that. Okay, this is just the pages that told you how to play the game, how to read the cards, etc., etc. So, Magic the Gathering, with its whopping 64-page rulebook, of those 64 pages, only 14 of them explain to you how to read the cards, how to use the cards, and how to play the game. That's exactly 50 pages in that rulebook that don't mean shit to how to play the game, except telling you what, the terminology is. Coming in second place, whereas Magic was third place on the largest amount of pages, second place is Pokemon. Now, these are not accurate numbers, mainly because Pokemon, the Pokemon rulebook has so many illustrations. I wasn't going to go through and count each line and figure out how many lines you could fit on a page in a Pokemon rulebook. Okay, so Pokemon probably takes less pages than Magic if you take away all the illustrations. If somebody wants to do that and count like the lines and how many lines you can fit on a page reasonably, please feel free to leave that number in the comment section below and correct me on this. But Pokemon takes 15 of its 30 pages to explain how to read the cards, turn structure, and things like that. Okay, you could say 16 because there is a full page dedicated to telling you what color each energy type is, and that's pretty much it. So you could argue 16, but I'm only going to say 15 because, if you can't tell the difference between a red fire energy and a blue water energy, I feel sorry for you. Sorry, I needed a drink there. Yu-Gi-Oh, however, tops it off with 39 of its 51 pages. Stop right there is what some of you are saying. You are biased because your favorite game is Yu-Gi-Oh. No, I am not biased. If you don't trust my numbers, go and check them yourself. I was completely impartial with this. I put forth the same parameters for each rulebook on eliminating pages. You can go and check this yourself. Download the rulebooks, pick up actual copies of the rulebooks, check it yourself. I promise you you'll get close to these numbers as well. Alright, so first one we're going to talk about is Pokemon. We're going to be talking about the turn structure in Pokemon. Now, I'm not going to go into extreme detail. I'm just going to let you know what you can do in each phases and a brief overview of them. I'm not going to go into further detail than that because a lot of stuff on here I'll be explaining in other videos when we get to that point. Now, in the Pokemon rulebook, it takes 6 pages to explain the turn structure. Now, as you'll see when I'm popping the pages up on the screen, there are huge illustrations on all the pages in the Pokemon rulebook. Huge illustrations that don't need to be there whatsoever, okay? Then there are a couple illustrations that might need to be there, but there are some illustrations that really you don't need on the page, okay? So, it may take less pages than this. If you take the illustrations off, I'm going to give it 3 to 4 pages. I'm going to say 3 pages. I'm going to cut it in half. Just because the rulebook was cut in half, I'm going to cut this in half because of the illustrations. I will give it a 4-page just to be on the safe side. Okay, so page 1. Let's see if I can get that popped up on the screen. Okay, it should be up on the screen right now for you to see. Page 1 discusses the draw phase, which you draw a card. That's pretty much it. Then it starts into the main phase. Now, the main phase has 6 steps in it. This page only shows the first step, which is play basic Pokemon. It's pretty much just put basic Pokemon from your hand onto the bench. Okay, let's go to page 2. Page 2 discusses the second phase, which is evolving your basic Pokemon and attaching energy onto your basic Pokemon. Now, to draw a little parallel, in Magic, you can play 1 land card per turn. In Pokemon, you can play 1 basic energy per turn onto one of your Pokemon. Page 3. Okay, page 3 should be up by now. It discusses the last 3 steps during the main phase 1. You can activate trainer cards. Now, just to draw parallels, trainer cards in Pokemon are equivalent to instant and sorcery cards in Magic and spell cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! You can also retreat your active Pokemon, and you can use the abilities of your Pokemon. Go to page 4. Alright, now that page 4 is up, it starts discussing the attack and end turn phase. Now, I don't know why they meshed these 2 things into one phase, but they did. The first step is for the battle phase, or the attack phase as it's called in Pokemon, is check the energy on your Pokemon. Pretty much make sure you have the right amount and the right types of energy on your Pokemon. Alright, go to page 5, which continues the attack and end turn phase. The second step is check the weakness and resistance of your opponent's active Pokemon. The third step is the damage counter step. Pretty much, it's the damage step. That's it. You're putting damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon, and that's the damage step. Then it's turnover. Turnover, in Pokemon, you have no maximum hand size. So, however many cards you have in your hand, that's what you got. You don't have to discard down no maximum hand size, which freaking sucks, honestly, because I think the game would be so much better if you did have a maximum hand size, you know? Anyway, last page. Pokemon has a between turn step, and all you do during this step is check special conditions on the Pokemon and do what's necessary to resolve those special conditions. Now, I will say one more thing about Pokemon. Unlike Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon only has 1 main phase, whereas Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic Gathering have 2 main phases. Pokemon is the only one of the big 3 that only has 1 main phase. Which, you know, it could be a smart idea. You know, maybe you know, I don't know if that would actually work in Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic. You know, but it's actually kind of fun to think about what Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic would be like with only 1 main phase. It's kind of, you just think about it, you'll think it's fun. Okay. Anyway, next we will be discussing Magic the Gathering. Now, in the Magic the Gathering rulebook, it took, see here, 1, 2, 3 pages to discuss the turn structure in Magic the Gathering. So, let's get page 1 put up on the screen right now. Okay, page 1 should be up by now. It starts off with the beginning phase. The beginning phase has 3 steps. Your untap step, which pretty much you untap all your lands, all your creatures, things like that. The second step is the upkeep. The upkeep is where you can activate abilities and instant cards. And then the third step is the draw step. In the draw step, you and your opponent can activate instants and abilities, and you draw your card for your turn. Moving on to main phase 1. In main phase 1, you can play lands, you can play any spell. Just for a little reference for those of you who don't play Magic, who don't know much about it, any card in your hand is called a spell in Magic the Gathering. Your creatures, your instants, your sorceries, planeswalkers, all the cards are referred to as spells in Magic the Gathering. So you can pretty much play any card you have in your hand. Also, your opponent can use instant cards during this during this phase, I should say. Alright, at the bottom of the page, it starts explaining the combat phase. The first step is the beginning of combat. That's pretty much where you're letting your opponent know which one of your creatures are attacking, And both you and your opponent can play instants, although it's very rare that you or your opponent play instants at this point, but you can do it. Alright, page 2. Page 2 should be up by now. It goes into the third step, which is declare blockers. Or correction. Yeah, declare blockers. Declare attackers and declare blockers. The declare attackers first is where, you know, like I said, you're letting your opponent know which one of your monsters are attacking. Well, declare blockers is where your opponent lets you know which one of their creatures is blocking which one of your creatures. Next up, we have the damage step. This is where damage gets put on each person's monsters, and the monsters die, etc., etc. You can also play instants during any one of these steps in the battle phase. Both you and your opponent can. Alright, next page. We have the end of combat. That's where you play instants, and you can use activated abilities, and it's pretty much just letting your opponent know that you are switching phases. Now we go into main phase 2. Any action you can do in main phase 1, you can do in main phase 2 in Magic the Gathering. Similar, just like in Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright, now we go into the end phase. The end phase has 2 different steps. The first step is the end of turn step, where you can activate instants and use activated abilities. And then you have the cleanup step. The cleanup step is where you discard down your maximum hand size and damage wears off. Alright, so now we got Magic out of the way with its whopping 3 pages of explanation, which is, I'm going to say, tied with Pokemon. We move on to Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, in this video, you will only see 4 pages pop up on the screen, but if you look at the page numbers, because the downloaded internet version is different than the actual rulebook, it shows each individual page, but it does 2 pages to a slide on the PDF version that you download from the site. But if you actually look at the open rulebook, like get the actual rulebook out of a starter deck or whatever, it has separate pages, and on the slides you see where the pages are numbered differently. So on the slides you're only going to see 4 slides, but there are actually 6 pages. Okay. So first slide coming up, it discusses the draw phase. In the draw phase, you can draw a card and activate effects and quick play spells. Then it discusses the standby phase. This is where you resolve effects that resolve during the standby phase, and you and your opponent can activate traps and quick play spells. Now, let me backstep a little bit here. Just for those of you who are watching, I know that this is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Channel, and you probably already know this, but in the tag boxes down below, I'm going to put Magic and Pokemon references down there, so people who are just looking for videos similar to this, who don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! But do play Magic or Pokemon, know what I'm talking about as well. So this isn't just for you guys, for everyone who might watch the video, okay? Alright, anyway, page 2. It's discussing the main phase 1. Main phase 1 is where you summon and set monsters, you change your monster's battle positions, activate cards and effects, and you set your spell and trap cards. Pretty simple. Page 3, or slide 3, I think is what we're on right now. This discusses the battle phase. The battle phase, first you can activate traps and quick play spells during the battle phase, and then it discusses the steps. First step is the start step. This is pretty much where you're letting your opponent know, I'm entering my battle phase, I'm going to be attacking you, etc., etc. The battle step is where you're letting your opponent know which one of your monsters is attacking. Damage step is where you're calculating damage between your monsters, and then the end step is the end of the battle phase. Alright, now we're going to go to the next slide. This slide goes into more in-depth of what you can do during each step during the battle phase, and it also explains the replay rule. Now, I'm going to do the best I can to explain this replay rule, because it's late at night and I'm a little sleepy right now. But anyway, okay. You can read the replay rule on the page, but I'm just going to go in a brief overview. Now, this is mainly for people who don't know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And for those who are just getting into it. Here's how a replay rule works, okay? If you attack with one of your monsters, your opponent then does something to either remove a monster from their field or put a new monster on the field. you can declare a replay to use the monster you're attacking with to attack a different monster on the field. And that's how a replay works. Now, if you choose to, you can choose to continue attacking the same monster you initially decided to attack. But if you choose not to attack another monster or choose not to continue attacking that monster, then that monster that you control is to be considered that it's already declared an attack, even though it did absolutely nothing, and you cannot attack later with it after you attack with your other monsters. So just be careful how you use your replays. It's kind of a complicated rule, but once you learn how to do a replay, you're going to be using them all the time. I guarantee it. Alright, last page, or last slide should be up. This goes over the main phase 2. Pretty much everything you can do in main phase 1, you do in main phase 2. And then it has the end phase. During the end phase, you resolve card effects that resolve during the end phase. You and your opponent can activate traps and quick play spells. And you discard down to your maximum hand size. Now, like I said, that only took 4 slides, but it is actually 6 pages. Actually, 4 slides, if my numbers are correct. Because I'm not actually putting the slides up on the screen while I'm making the video. I'm gonna edit those in. I've edited those in later. But anyway, 4 slides if memory serves off of that, but it's 6 pages. So I'm gonna give this video, the points for this video, to Yu-Gi-Oh! As being the most complicated one to learn for this particular section. Now, I know there's going to be some of you out there who disagree. Well, tough diddly doo-dah, you can go and check the pages yourself, okay? That's all I can say. Check the pages yourself, and you'll see that it takes more pages to explain the turn structure in Yu-Gi-Oh! Than it does for Magic or Pokemon. Now, I know there's going to be some naysayers out there saying, oh, well, Yu-Gi-Oh! Takes 6 pages, Pokemon takes 6 pages technically. Well, no, if you remove the illustrations on Pokemon, you could get that on the 3 freaking pages. So don't give me that bullshit. Anyway, I am also going to be having deck profiles up no later than Monday. I'm pretty sure I will be uploading this video on Saturday morning. If not, then it will be on Sunday morning that I upload this video. But I will also be putting my deck profiles up about the same time that I am uploading this. Actually, I think I might have my deck profiles up before this video, but just in case I don't, those deck profiles will be up by the 13th of this month. So be looking out for those. Anyway, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you tell your friends who are already subscribed that the Duelist Den is back up and running. Also, get those new try to get those new subscribers. Tell people the Duelist Den is back and that we're doing some great shit here. Also, if you are in the Oklahoma area, somewhere near Tahlequah or Tulsa, and you have a good singing voice, I am looking for 2 females and 3 males to do a parody song video. It is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Parody of the Captain Planet theme song. So I'm looking for people to who have good singing voices to help me make that video, but they need to be somewhere around the area where I'm at, which is Tahlequah, Oklahoma. If you do know anybody, they don't even have to like Yu-Gi-Oh! If they want to be in a YouTube video, hook them up with me. I'm working on that. I've got the music ready. I just need the people to sing the song. Okay. So until next time, this is Hockey Hunter 89 signing off.